Hey guys, it's a nasty, cold, wet day today. Too nasty and too wet and cold to ride. So I'm doing something today that I've been meaning to get done for quite some time, and I just thought I'd show y'all this. There's my 12-inch large Dutch oven. Been out in the weather for quite some time. You can see the inside's pretty dang nasty too. Well, I am gonna make that look like brand new. And all it takes is just a little bit of time. I'll give you. When my fire burns down and I get a good bed of ashes and a good hot fire going, I'm gonna throw this Dutch oven in there and the lid and just let them burn in the fire for a while, and it'll burn off all that old grease and all that rust and turn everything loose. Woo! Wind's blowing, ain't it? And then we're gonna wash it real good, and then we're gonna oil it real good, and then we're gonna put it on that old barbecue grill right there. And next thing you know, after a few little times of doing that, it'll look good as new and we can use it again. The 160th Battle of Shiloh reenactment is happening, so our group's gonna be up there for that, and I'm looking forward to it. So I got one of my Dutch ovens cleaned up, but this one right here is another one that I use quite often when I camp out. So we're gonna get it going and make it look like something again, I hope. I wanted to bring y'all back here for a second, show y'all this other Dutch oven right here I've got beside it. I can promise y'all, just a few months ago when I did this one, it looked just as bad as this one does now. And I'm doing the exact same process I did to this one. And you can see how pretty it looks now. Now mind you, getting ready to put this one right here on the fire now. As you can see, my fire's starting to burn down a little bit, getting some good hot coals. Alright, I'm gonna get this on here. This right here's the worst part. We'll put it down like this. I'm gonna turn this one upside down. Well, guys, this is all we're gonna do right now. This is just gonna sit here and cook over the fire. But we're gonna let that sit there, and it's gonna burn down for probably at least an hour or more. We're gonna burn every bit of the junk off of it. Once I get done, there'll still be a little rust that remains, but it'll be nothing I can't just wash off with soap and water and a scoured pad and get it rinsed real good, coat it with oil, and then we'll start seasoning it. So I'll bring y'all back again in a few minutes. Well guys, we've been going about 30-40 minutes. Fire's burnt down a little bit, kind of spread out. It's just perfect for what we're doing. I'm gonna try getting in there now and turning these over. Let them burn on the other side a few minutes, and then it won't be long. It'll be time to take them out. Alright guys, we've got them turned over. We're gonna let them burn another 30 minutes, I guess. Let this fire burn down. I'm gonna set them off, then let them cool off. Then it's just a matter of some hot soapy water and a Brillo pad, and just wash them and clean them up. This is the only time I want to ever hear of you using soap on your cast iron. Folks, that's the only time you do it is when you season them for the first time. So after that, if you need to clean them, just put water in there and let them heat and boil. Anyway, so who's calling? Okay guys, we'll take it in there in the sink and wash it and get the rest of this rust and stuff off. It won't take just a few minutes, then I'll bring y'all back again. We've got it washed. I used this little thing right here with some Dollar General dishwashing detergent. Washed it, and it's got a few little pits in it from sitting there rusted outside for so long. But y'all look at this. Y'all saw how that was caked up around there. It's gone. I promise you, I did not spend more than 5 minutes washing this pot. Now here's the lid. I did take the lid, once I've got it washed and clean, I put it on top of the stove just for a second under some heat to get the moisture dried out, because this stuff rusts fast. So I'm about to do a little bit of that same thing on this pot. Well guys, we're gonna get the oil, a light coat of oil on our Dutch oven now, so we can put it on the grill. I like doing it outside first few times because maybe your coats are a little thicker, not much, but a little thicker, and they'll smoke pretty good. And if you're in a house, it'll stink a house up. Once you get it seasoned properly, you can use like Pam cooking spray or whatever and spray coating that thin on there and wipe it off and put it in the oven or something. It's no big deal. Some people ask me what kind of oil I use. Well, I use whatever I got, and just so happens right now I got Walmart brand canola oil. We use canola oil quite a bit here, and back in the old days, you know, they had to use lard, but they cooked with their cast iron a lot more. Now they say that cooking or seasoning with animal fats, your pots might go rancid after a while if it's sitting and not used. Now, supposedly vegetable oil is supposed to help with that, but back then they used what they had and they cooked with them every day. So we don't cook with our Dutch ovens every day, but we do our cast iron skillets, and I mean our skillets are nice. So anyway, I just a little light coat of oil with let's say a lint-free rag. I got an old t-shirt. It's a clean t-shirt, but it's an old one. That might look like quite a bit of oil, and it is actually, but when we get done, we're going to wipe it off, all the excess, and we're going to spread this oil out all over this lid, not just all right here on one side. So anyway, this is what I'm doing. I'll come back in a second. All right, guys, we've got a good coating of oil all the way around. The first time around it uses quite a bit of oil, believe it or not, because that cast iron's porous, and all them pores have been opened up and cooked out, so it soaks up that oil. Just make sure when you get done that you've wiped it off and it looks dry. Of course, it's going to be shiny, but there should be no puddles of oil. And to make sure that we don't have no puddles of oil cook on this as it gets hot and this grease gets thin, the pot will be turned upside down. This lid will be turned upside down in the grill so that it won't catch on this lip, all that oil. Now we may have a little bit puddle up right here. That's very possible that happens, because that is kind of dished in, but we'll try to wipe it out before it cooks if we can. So guys, it's time to put it on the grill. You can see the oil is a very thin coat. Like I said, with it upside down, any oil as it gets hot and runs out will run down into the fire and won't puddle up. The last thing you want is a real thick oil that's dried on there, because it will, when it's cooked on there, it'll get sticky and tacky. It's just a mess. You want just as light a coating as you can, guys. All right, we're gonna let this heat up for a while. It'll probably stay on here about an hour. This grill gets pretty hot, so it'll probably be on low most of the time. I'm gonna crank it up a little bit to begin with, I think, to get it warmed up. But in a minute, we'll turn it down on low and let it go for about an hour. That's about 300 degrees, something like that, 350. And I think I'll sit out here and just smell the burnt oil and put some more wood on the fire. Well, guys, this is it after one seasoning. Most cast iron, if you want to, after the first seasoning, you can go ahead and cook with it. I'm not going to use this for a while, and I like to go ahead and do mine about at least 3 times. Every time you do it, it gets a little smoother and a little darker, and I think it needs it. Show y'all the inside too. Much difference than what we started with, don't you think? I'll try to get you a picture of it when I'm done with it after about 3 seasonings. The day's starting to get away from me. It's getting a little dark out here. Well, folks, here is our final seasoning of this Dutch oven that was so nasty. It's 3 times I seasoned it. Looking a whole lot better than it did. Listen, guys, if anybody can do this, you don't have to get a drill and a wire brush and sit there and work on it for hours and hours. That fire will do the job for you. All you got to do is season it right when you get done. Now, make sure if you got it on your grill, seasoning it. 350 to 400 degrees is about the max. You don't want to bake that oil on too fast. It will chip off if you get it too hot doing it. So it'll chip off when you're cooking with it, and it leaves a pretty nasty taste. I done that years ago, learned better. But folks, this is all there is to it now. So there's no sense y'all working yourself to death with a grill. Hey guys, I appreciate y'all watching this. I hope it helps somebody, and we'll see y'all later on down the road.